How do you know if you have a rare $2 bill? In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to make sure you're not missing any rare $2 bill worth potentially thousands of dollars. Welcome back to Old Money Prices. If this is your first time here and you want to learn more about rare coins and paper money, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. Let's jump right into the video. Up first, we have a 1976 $2 bill Federal Reserve note, graded about uncirculated, but it wasn't graded by a third-party company. It is considered a raw note, and immediately you can tell that something is wrong here. That's because this is considered a printing error. So the second print, which is the front of the note, is misaligned. You can tell that the whole print is shifted upwards. Typically speaking, $2 bills are only going to be worth their face value of $2. Right now, I can go to the bank and get a roll or a brick of $2 bills and spend it like normal. Most people think $2 bills are rare and valuable, but for the most part, that's not the case unless you have something rare like in this video I'm going to show you today. For fun, I like to go to the bank and get $2 bills and hand them out as tips because people think that they're either fake or they're worth a lot of money. So that's a pro tip right there. But this note that I'm showing you on the screen right now is considered a misalignment, and this note sold for $287, which is a lot of money for a $2 bill from 1976, just like this one. Up next, we have a $2 bill from 1976, but this is a star note, and this was graded by PCGS as 68 PPQ. PPQ standing for premium paper quality. So the two biggest grading companies that you want to use for grading are either PMG or PCGS. They will increase the value of the note more than any other grading company, and they're also the most consistent. So if you have a $2 bill, you want to be looking out for the star designation at the end of the serial number. That star means that it is a replacement note. So essentially during the printing process, there was an error on the sheet of notes, and that's why they had to replace that entire sheet and put a new sheet on, and they added the star, meaning it's a replacement. Replacement notes are typically harder to find, and they are generally worth more money. But the big thing here, why this one sold for so much money, is because it was graded so highly by PCGS, and this note is only 2 points away from that perfect grade of 70. To get a very high grade in grading, you need to have no folds on the bill, but even if your note does have folds, it can still be worth good money. But if your bill has no folds, and it's like one of the ones I'm talking about in this video, it could be worth a lot of money. But generally, if your bill does not have folds, the reason why they grade so highly is because of the centering. So you can tell this bill on the front and the back of the note, it's centered very, very nicely, and that's why this note graded so highly, and that allowed this note to sell for $865. Here we have an original pack of 100 $2 bills from 1967. You can tell immediately that this is also a star note run. So these bills are going to be consecutive. You can see the serial number there says 97501. The next bill behind that one is going to say 97502. And the big thing here is the fact that they are star notes. If you look on the left hand side of the bill at that margin, you can see there's damage happening there. That damage didn't take away from the fact that these are pretty rare notes to come by. If you want to know how much your $2 bill star note is worth, you can go to a website called mycurrencycollection.com and type in the serial number there. On that website, it shows you different print runs and how many notes were printed for that specific print run. This is going to be a pretty rare print run, and the fact that you have 100 consecutive notes that are also gem uncirculated, meaning there are no folds on the bills. So this pack has 100 bills, right? And each bill is worth $2, so it has a face value of $200. But this original pack of 100 sold for $1,667. Again, like I was saying at the start of the video, you can go to your local bank and you can give them $200 and say, hey, can I have an original pack of $2 bills? And if you're lucky, you'll get a consecutive pack just like this one. But the chances of coming across something just like this is pretty rare, but it is possible. What you want to look out for, what you want to ask for, is if they have any new bills that are uncirculated and not messed with, because a lot of people actually don't know that the Bureau of Engraving and Printing still prints $2 bills to this day. They're one of the most uncommon denominations for paper money, but they're still printing them right now as we speak. So if you come across something like this, it could be worth a lot of money. Up next, we have a 1976 $2 bill Federal Reserve note from San Francisco, and this note looks completely beat up. I mean, look how bad this note looks. But the big thing about this note is the fact that it has a fancy serial number. So fancy serial numbers can come in multiple different types and varieties. This is considered a solid serial number, and even in the low grade of a very fine 20, the bill still has has tears and everything on it, and it's still sold for $2,400. So if your $2 bill has a fancy serial number like this one, it could be worth a lot of money. Up next, we have another 1976 Federal Reserve note $2 bill, and this is actually considered a specimen note. So if your $2 bill says specimen just like this one, you could have something that's really, really rare. You want to reach out to a paper money expert before you do anything, but essentially a specimen note is given to banks around the world so they know what a genuine $2 bill looks like. These specimens are printed for every denomination from 1 all the way up to 100. This one was graded by PMG a 64 choice uncirculated, and this $2 bill sold for $2,530. Up next, we have a 1976 $2 bill Federal Reserve note graded by PCGS a perfect 70 PPQ. So as I was talking about before, that 70 grade is incredibly hard to find. It's really, really uncommon, but look at the centering on this bill. It literally is perfect, and that's why it was graded at a 70. So if you have a $2 bill and it's a star note and the centering looks really nice, there's no folds on the bill, it really may be worth sending off to grading, because this $2 bill that someone probably pulled from a pack at a local bank sold for $2,820. This is the one we've all been waiting for. This is a $2 bill from 1976 Federal Reserve note graded by PCGS a 64 PPQ, but look at that serial number. This is a star note, and this is also a serial number 1. That means it is the first note printed for this particular run. It's really, really uncommon to find a low serial number just like this, especially the first one, but because this is a serial number 1, you can tell that the centering isn't really that nice comparatively to the previous note that we showed, but this note, this $2 bill that is a serial number 1, sold for $35,250. Hit that subscribe button, it really does help out with the YouTube algorithm. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see you in the next video.